Hey, what's up? This is Astro Headset here. We've seen quite a few weird sneakers on this channel to the point that it's almost become something of a specialty, covering shoes that maybe other sneaker review channels won't, from the underrated Salomon ACS Pro Advanced to some of the more interesting Cold Wall releases. Spoilers for a future video. And last week I randomly came across such a bizarre new release that I'd never seen advertised or talked about anywhere that I just felt like I had to pick it up and do a little bit of a deep dive on it for myself. It is, of course, the Nike Air Force 1 Carabiner, so called because it has an enormous carabiner surgically attached to one side of the shoe. Gorpcore has now reached its logical conclusion. We finally have the shoe to go out climbing at 4 and still make it to the pub at 5. Honestly, if someone made a mock-up or a custom of this shoe, people would be like, no way, that's fake, they would never interrupt the swoosh, blah blah blah. But 2022, here we are. I believe these were released on April 1st, almost as if they were some kind of joke. And they retailed at £125, approximately $140. Let's take a proper look at these because there are some hidden details that you're going to want to see for yourself. And if nothing else, we can have some fun with this ridiculous carabiner attachment. Let's go. I'm not going to waste any time talking about the aesthetics of the base model Air Force 1. It is fairly well trodden ground at this point. And taking away the unique features, you've got a pretty clean colorway overall. Majority white, a couple of black accents, namely on the swoosh and on the heel here. Black tongue, pomegranate tongue label, and a fairly unique little bronze lace debray here as well. Of course, fit and comfort is unchanged from the base model, so I'd recommend going a half a size down. These do tend to fit fairly big, this is no exception. Anyway, that colorway change alone is a tiny bit of spice on your regular garden variety Air Force 1, which I'm sure a lot of people would enjoy, although I totally get the preference for the classic all-white version of the Air Force 1, really letting that silhouette and the chunkiness shine through. I've got the John Elliott ones over there, for example, which I would definitely recommend. But Nike aren't about letting that classic silhouette shine. With this model, we have this habanero red carabiner, although it's really more like a bronze, surgically attached with 4 little pieces of elastic on the outstep of each shoe. As all good climbing ropes should be, these do feel fairly secure. I can't see these coming off or anything in the short term. One thing that I do like, a cool little detail here, is the 3 separate colors of these elastic loops that they've gone for. That's in direct reference to the multicolored woven climbing ropes that instantly evokes the hiker aesthetic, particularly as so many other shoes and clothing items have also used this motif. The separate clashing colors and patterns that they've used here also gives these a bit of a DIY piecemeal kind of feel. It's a stark contrast to the mass-produced, very uniform Nike Air Force 1. Now, other Air Force 1 models have done the we tacked stuff on at the end kind of thing, from the Comme des Garçons collab to the Endestruct, which added these weird sort of bits that looked like tires to enhance the durability of the standard model, and even the Swarovski collaboration more recently, which, yeah, I think everyone has the same reaction the first time they see those. And while the bar does seem like it's set fairly low for those, I feel like the carabiner comes out the best. But let's say you want to take all these sneakers traveling. Most bags, especially backpacks, don't really have an adequate amount of space for multiple pairs of shoes. But that's where this week's paid sponsor Sole Premise come in handy. They make bags specifically to carry sneakers. You can carry up to 5 pairs, all separately organized in one super handy bag. These things are TSA approved as well, so you can take them on flights as hand luggage. Personally, I can see myself using these to carry multiple pairs of sneakers off somewhere if I need to take pictures or videos of them. Content creator struggles, am I right? But this could genuinely save you having to take hold luggage somewhere, because I know what it's like when you want to bring the drip with you, but you're restricted to like 1 or 2 pairs of shoes, and it's just not going to work. They've also got space for a laptop in here, of course, and other accessories too, so you can continue copping more sneakers when you reach your destination. It's the only way to travel if you want to bring the full rotation with you. There's a bunch of different designs and colors. As you can see, I've got the grey tumbled leather here, but I think the classic black works perfectly. At the end of the day, this is a utilitarian bag. It is designed for a purpose. You know how it is. Link in the description if you need some thick sneaker storage in your life. And once again, thank you very much to Sole Premise for being the paid sponsor of this video. Back to these carabiner equipped shoes. Now, I wouldn't personally believe anyone would want to remove the giant piece of metal from the side of the shoe, but although it is a little bit of a pain to do, you can actually take this off, so we'll use that as a good opportunity to get a closer look. Industrial print on each side mimics the spec that you would find on an actual climbing carabiner carabiner, including rather amusingly the 1 kilogram weight limit on these, meaning that if you happen to clip your shoes in as you go climbing, the shoes are the only thing that are going to be saved as you plummet to your death. I think we could have anticipated this is not a climbing grade carabiner, but it is a great shape. It really perfectly follows that Nike swoosh silhouette, but also gives it this real angular and more kind of futuristic and more industrial constructed look about it. I'm tempted to use this on a bag or a belt or something to hold my keys because I really do think it looks cool, and there are going to be very few people out there that are also rocking the same thing as this. It's kind of sporty, it's futuristic, it's industrial, it's outdoorsy, all in one, and yeah, all of those things definitely appeal. If you really want a party trick though, yep, this carabiner is also a bottle opener. You can see this little hook here. You can impress your friends using your shoes to open a bottle. In fact, you can probably do it without having to remove the carabiner from the side here. In fact, experiment time. Let's go and find out. Well, this is the only thing with a bottle cap in my fridge, so we're drinking King Goblin tonight, lads. I'm a little bit concerned this is going to take the paint off of the carabiner, but here we go, live test. This is not working very well. Have we got... I feel like we've maybe got purchase. There's hissing. Hey, there we go. It did chip the paint a tiny bit, but it's not very noticeable, so I think we're good here. You could survive a couple of opens of this thing, and that's probably all you're going to need to do to get everyone you know mega impressed about your cool bottle opening shoes. I'm not actually a massive beer drinker, but I do quite like this King Goblin. It is ridiculously strong. This is 6.6%, which for a beer is, yeah, pretty hefty, but I quite like it. Anyway, good thing that does work with the carabiner attached. You probably are going to want it attached all the time if you can help it, because... I'll get the other one over here. It just looks a bit sad without the carabiner. You've got all these little material loops just kind of sitting there with nothing to do and no apparent reason for them existing. Just kind of looks a bit messy to me. And no, those are very much attached, so you can't go turning these into a regular Air Force One. But the carabiner isn't the only story with those, because they have one other interesting hidden feature, and you might have seen it already. It's in the tongue here. There's a teeny tiny little zip which houses a concealed pocket. Acronym Downtown Air Force Ones, look out, because we've got a contender for the most tech-wear shoe out here. The zip is a little bit stiff, it's a bit fiddly, but I was surprised at how much space there actually is in this tongue. Rather than it just being a little sort of stash pocket at the top, it actually runs the entire way down the tongue. So this is, I suppose, as functional as a tiny pocket tongue could be, without deforming the shape of the overall shoe at all. That has resulted in a material change as well. So the front of the tongue is nylon ripstop. You can see this very faint tonal grid here, which I think looks quite nice. And the back is a neoprene as well, which is a bit softer against your foot. So I haven't noticed any issues from a comfort perspective there. And yeah, it's just a little bit of extra functionality that you can make use of if you want. You could easily stash a cheeky tenner and a bit of change in there if you needed to. Or, I don't know, some culinary herbs if you're going to go over to your friend's house for a little bit of cooking. I'll see you, Nike. These features do collectively add to the price. Yes, this is a relatively expensive Air Force One. The base version, I think, currently retails at £100 in the UK, so you've got an extra 25 on top. But I don't feel like this is too much of a tall order, considering some of the other premium Air Force Ones come in at a similar price, and they seem to add less than what we have going on here. I personally don't mind getting something unusual for a little bit of extra cash, but I would also forgive you for wanting to save that $30 or so and just going for the plain all-white version. Or even, you know, buy a couple of carabiners and some climbing rope yourself. How hard can it be? Alright, I know I'm making fun of these a lot, but here's the thing. I actually kind of like this shoe, and here's why. First of all, the size and the shape of the carabiner I think is very interesting, especially when it's off the shoe. You can really appreciate that kind of industrial, futuristic, sporty look. The color of it is pretty cool as well. More importantly though, it's because I think this shoe is not taking itself too seriously. I don't think they're trying to do a, like, we've infused the Air Force One with even more hiking performance. No, I think instead it's more of a pastiche of this outdoor trend. People adding outdoor performance elements to their streetwear fits for fashion as well as function. Maybe they're even making fun of people who go out buying and wearing climbing gear when they obviously don't need it, they're just wearing it for lifestyle purposes. The obvious option, I feel, would be to have stuck this on an ACG shoe or something that already has those outdoor performance credentials, but instead they've done this on an Air Force 1 intentionally to emphasize that sort of clash between lifestyle streetwear and outdoor gorpcore. We're not just out here hikerizing things. It's like being yassified but with more trail mix. Despite this very unusual addition, I don't really feel like styling these has to be a massive issue. I feel like if a fit looks good with a pair of Air Force 1s, they'll probably look fine with these as well. But I would tend towards slightly wider pants because this does add a bit of bulk to the silhouette and also pay reference to the fact that, yeah, we've got some outdoor climbing-y stuff here. So hey, why not get a practical bag involved, some kind of cool functional jacket, so that it's not just like this weird performance carabiner is coming out of nowhere. Although I have no idea if Nike will ever do this again, I would love to see some more colorways. I think there's a lot of potential with this because, of course, not only do you have the multi-panels and all of the options of your regular Air Force 1, but all these little lace loops and the actual carabiner itself. There's so much fun stuff you can do with this, and an all-black version would be the definite go-to model for nefarious activities. Or even a collaborative version to take this kind of theme to the nth degree. I'm thinking stuff like the Asics and Anderson Bell climbing rope attachment kind of vibes. I can't see many people buying these in total stone-faced seriousness, like, oh yeah, carabiner life bro, like these go so hard. I think they're a shoe for people who aren't really going to take them too seriously, and if you're in on the joke, I feel like other people are going to see these and appreciate them for their eye-catching quirkiness and this kind of on-trend addition. There you go, Nike Air Force 1 Carabiner. I would have put money on a shoe like this not existing, but here we go. I thought it was kind of a funny one. I definitely am going to end up wearing these in some capacity. Let me know what you think though. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Could you see yourself wearing these even in an ironic, knowing, haha, isn't this gorpcore stuff funny kind of way? Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed the video though, please do give it a like. It is mega helpful, and it's a good way of helping me know what kind of videos you want to see more of. Shout out to Sabiri Fabrice, pretty much nailed what this shoe is going for, I feel. This kind of collaboration and mixing of techwear and streetwear and gorpcore kind of ideas into something that is no longer these separate lanes, but just one kind of area. Yeah, I feel like this is sort of doing that. And thanks to you for making it all the way to the end of the video. If you want to catch some more, there's going to be links going up at the top. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so because we've got more fun sneaker videos. I've already teased the Converse Cold Wall sneakers back there. You know they're going to be coming up in the future. That's going to be a fun one. And we've got some more techwear and streetwear and whatever content as well. If you've got any particular ideas, let me know if you want to see something cool in future. We're going to have videos every week. So until then, catch you later.